ask you a question? Do you mind putting the stick down? I feel a little bit like maybe you're going to hit me or something. We're just having a good conversation. No problem.
Yeah, no, it's my microphone. If you feel that intimidated, just walk away, you pussy. It's getting tough. Seriously. Pay attention to the news today. Good God. Let's pray that this is just a ruse, that Donald Trump is just, throwing another false narrative out there. But if not, we're in a shitload of trouble. I mean, Donald Trump wants to hook up. Instead of crushing big tech, he's partnering with them. He's going to partner with them to enact social credit scores to red flag the Second Amendment. This is being pushed by Ivanka Trump. Who in the fuck elected her president? Who the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, his daughter pals around with the social justice warriors from the big tech giants. Donald Trump is out there screaming how he's going to, we're going to crack down on the censorship. Instead, it's gotten worse. Decidedly worse. Barr sitting on his ass somewhere. He thinks Epstein committed suicide. There's no reason not to believe that. The rest of the fucking world. I suppose he thinks Gussie Smollett was actually attacked too. Oh, God. You got McCabe. McCabe's going to be headlining a Democratic fundraiser. Greenspan talking about negative interest rates are coming. What? Clinton doing book tours. Comey asking for an apology. There comes a time when every normal man thinks he has to spit on his hands, raise the black flag, and begin slitting throats. Meacham. Might be that time. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, bad things are coming. Silver's gone up nearly $2 in 2 days. Ain't boding well, folks. Ain't boding well. Well, let's keep on praying for the best, but I swear to God, I'd start preparing for the worst if I were you. And I don't know how much longer I could remain on the air. Of course, this never did get to where I would like to have been, never reached subscribers I would like to have had and the subscriptions. I want to thank all of you that have contributed. God bless you. Without you, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have. But I don't even know how I can ask you anybody to contribute anymore. Just take care of yourselves. But of course, if you can, then go do something about it. But anyway, we had a couple of jackasses here from Chicago in the financial industry, business finances, and they're just, probably your typical millennial asswipes, especially the big tall guy. The other guys say, hey, okay, but One asswipe is just what he is. If you like it, like it. If you care, you share. If you can contribute, you know the routine. See you on the other side. What's I say? They've been kind of fucking us for a while right now.
Why? Because they own 40% of manufacturing worldwide, or for another reason?
Oh, because they, as you well know, you can get things done cheaper there.
Of course you can.
Yeah,
Same thing as I can buy a cheaper drink here that I can buy in Chicago. Price differentiation.
Yeah, but then again, tell you what, if you're into globalization, I guess that's a good thing. I mean,
are you not?
No, because then you were talking about the playing into the bankers' hands for forming a one world government.
Well, you're from New York. Of course you're playing the bankers' hands. That's what New York is.
Well, that's what the whole world is, if you want to get down there.
Is New York home of the UN?
Well, indeed. Which is,
So I have a question for you.
Again, that's about globalization. It's about a one world government. If you have a one world government, that's the dream of every tyrannical.
You think so? Why?
Yeah.
What's the benefit?
That is Stalin.
I mean, every tyrant always wanted a one world government and a one world currency. If you can control the people, you have a monolithic one. I mean, the more powerful a government is, the less power the individual has.
I have a question for you then.
I mean, that's the whole idea about breaking things up. The more things are broken up, the more power the individual has. So, centralization brings always, what is it? What's the old cliche? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So anytime any monolithic group gains control and gains whole power,
But isn't that what exactly you're fighting for? Or you believe in?
No, because the end game is this. And I'm going to give you the end game in this.
Okay.
The powers that be have only kept us around this long because they needed slave labor. That's just why, again, we can go back to the shopping around, what they do, open up the borders, whatever, right?
I think otherwise they would get rid of people.
Well, they don't need us anymore. AI, robotic technology will eventually. I asked a Harvard professor out one day in economics, what will AI, robotic technology do to the people on the street here in the next 10 years?
Everything. Everybody's out.
And he said, well, about 50% of the people will be out of work. I said, well, what are we going to do with all these out-of-work people? And he didn't miss a beat. He looked at me and said, in the past, we've killed you.
But this is a serious question.
This is why you should root for Bernie Sanders.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You should feel the burn. Then you can have a standard compensation for everybody.
I just want to know, who is the powerful people? How is it determined?
Yeah,
who are the people who can execute others?
Well, I would go to the head of the snake, the bankers, the international bankers, the Bank of International Settlements, of course, being the top group. But there's several books you can read. There's one I just finished not long ago. I highly recommend. It's called The Killing of Uncle Sam. That pretty much names in the groups and connects the dots. Of course, there's the Bible of, Carol Quigley's book, Tragedy and Hope, which was Bill Clinton's mentor. Carol Quigley was part of the Illuminati, was allowed in their library for 2.5 years.
Can I ask a question? Or offer...
The Illuminati.
Just offer
That is as real as death, pal.
Can I ask you a question? Do you mind putting the stick down? I feel a little bit like maybe you're going to hit me or something. We're just having a good conversation. No problem.
Yeah, no, it's my microphone. If you feel that intimidated, just walk away, you pussy. So,
Chicago.
I don't feel intimidated.
But
I just think that you're a little off tilt.
So, for example, on the IA robotics path. So, for example, say in the early 1900s, there was the revolution of the car, and with that, there's probably a lot of people like us who were talking there's this new thing they call the car. What are we going to do with all the people who are the ranchers, the horsemen, the people who put the hooves on the horses? A lot of jobs are going to get lost. But ultimately, it led to more growth and more jobs, right?
Why do people?
That's it. That's a valid. I mean, it's a valid thing to bring up. But then it gets to a point where growth exponentially outgrows the people's ability to keep pace with it. That's just exponentially. We're going like this. If you buy an electronic gadget now, by the time you get home, it's out of date.
I think like the problem that I have, like we all probably have, is that nothing is as important as it seems while we're thinking about it. Meaning that like right now it's a problem that we face, but in 20 years they'll be like,
well, unless you listen to the futurists like Ray Kurzweil, if you listen to the Club of Rome or the CFR or the people that are involved
what is your ideal outcome?
In these secret and semi-secret societies, they are indeed looking to call the people. They don't need us anymore. They don't want to throw. Are you familiar with the Georgia Guidestones?
Actually, I think I may have heard of that.
In 1970.
But isn't that the thing, like, they wanted to, it says on there about, like, 500 million people
500
or
million.
something? Yeah, it's, like, too many if it's beyond that.
The number one, there's 10 dictates. There's a man that's 1974, tall, distinguished, foreign accent, walked into the granite factory, said, plumped a bunch of money on there. It says, I represent the most elite people in the world. We want you to build this monolith, and on it's going to have the 10 directives for the future of mankind.
When does it get executed?
Well, 2030 is the target.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's why if you look at Agenda 2030,
how do I know that?
Agenda 2030 is a UN agenda, Agenda 2030. It started at Agenda 21. Agenda 21 was the first dictate, and then Agenda 2030. Agenda 21 basically tried to go ahead and expose or bring in the sustainability through global warming. So, we had all bow down to the false premise that, we're going to run out of resources.
But if there were 500 million people, we would all have great lives. Probably. Like
what's going to happen to the other 7 billion of us?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But no, can I help you?
Is all this available online to purchase?
Yes, indeed.
Sure. Yep, I got one of your cards.
Yeah.
What are you going to buy?
Thank you very much. You can get them on apparel too. They come with a trigger back guarantee. If you don't trigger a liberal, you get your money back.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure. No, if you read, I'm a prolific reader on this. I do go.
It's interesting things to think about and talk about.
Yeah, indeed.
At minimum, right?
Well, indeed. That's how I've spoken to many. I'm on the street. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've got over 1,300 videos. I've spoken to people high in government, military.
What do they say? Like, what's the average consensus?
That we're going to have a revolution.
Who is? The people.
We will. That will be a revolution. The system itself now is so corrupt that it cannot be expected to correct itself. So, this is.
Do you think things like the raid on Area 51 are symptomatic of something that will actually happen eventually?
I think that's like storefront window bullshit. That ain't even going to happen.
But, if you're having a revolution, no stone's going to be unturned ultimately.
Well, indeed, but it's going to be a system collapse eventually. The system can't sustain itself. We've been working on fiat money for so long. It's going to collapse. We can't keep on making money up out of nothing and just expect this to keep on going. Eventually, the system has to collapse. The powers that be know this. What is it? The central banks have been doing all along is creating busts and booms, and they come in and keep on buying up more and more each time. Eventually, it will collapse. It's going to have to be. It can't go on.
What is your ideal situation?
Well,
because you're fighting for an ideal, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm like Don Quixote. I'm fighting windmills. What I would like to have happen, I can't see happening. I would like to see peaceful revolution, a resolution to the problems we have.
So tell me
as
about
I
that.
said,
what's the outcome?
Yeah, let's give you an idea. There was a guy who came up to me about a month ago. Black
someone
guy.
like Trump, though.
You're avoiding the question. Answer the question.
Well, I'm going to answer. There was a guy who came up to me about a month ago. He's a black guy wearing a MAGA hat. I said, well, that's interesting. Who are you?
And he turned out to be, he was Ben Carson's right-hand man in the Reagan administration, his special counsel assistant. So I says, man, can you please explain to me why we're not, things are mucked down, why we're not seeing, the government function properly? And he goes, because 85% of it is corrupt to the core. So what about 15% of the people holding this whole thing together?
How does Trump fit into this thing? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You have a question, I have a question. I want my question answered. What's your ideal? What's the outcome?
Well, the outcome's going to be a revolution.
No. That's a process. What do you want?
Well, it would be nice if we could get back to what our original core constitution said. And if we did a small government.
Say what you want and have a gun on your hip?
Yeah.
What else?
A small government. Leave us alone.
So you're
allow us to go ahead and flourish as people.
You're a revolutionary.
That's whatever we want.
Well,
within a reason.
Do you feel restricted?
As long as you're not hurting anybody or anybody else's property, you should be fine. I mean, you should be able to do what you want. But the idea, again, we go back to authoritarian government. Authoritarian governments quell individual. We have only prospered when we were free.
I think we answered your question.
We had inventors when we had inventors that allowed to do things. There's a great documentary you watch. You're both familiar with Procter & Gamble, of course. Foster Gamble, heir to that vast fortune, had an epiphany as a young man. He goes, wait a second, I'm surrounded by elitists that are insane. He broke from that agenda. He made this documentary called Thrive. Watch it. Thrive, right?
Yes.
The first thing he does is expose, in this government cover-up for over 100 years, the first thing he says that they've been covering up is free energy suppression. Things like Tesla technology and offshoots of that. Because he says if we were truly, if you could buy a box this big and run your house forever just from that box, drawing energy out of the air, didn't have an energy bill, how much more free could we be? We would be beholden to a power elite that is always, we got to pull into the gas station right now. So he shows how they went ahead and buy up patents, they kill inventors, they do these things. So they stop
there's a lot of suppression of patents and
thank you. Of course there is.
And especially the energy sector.
Of course there is.
Thank you.
I mean, the thing is,
I don't disagree with you.
I know.
I'm just wondering what the fucking goal is.
No, but just let me.
Because all you got to talk about is processes.
Control.
Control of what?
The people.
The people? Kill the people. That's what you want to do. Just kill them.
No, that's not what you want.
Get them
That's
out.
not what I want.
So what do you want? You haven't answered the question.
I want us to be free of the elites, the authoritarians, who are trying to go ahead and enslave us.
You don't feel free? You wake up every morning.
No, they're there.
What are you shackled with? Or shackled by?
Again, they keep us down by stopping the innovation that would be truly let free if the inventors were allowed to truly invent.
You're giving an example. I'm asking for a specific example to you. What do you feel shackled by? That you can't run your house on a battery?
Well, that would be one of them, sure. It's not even a battery.
You feel shackled because you have to pay $50 a month?
Right now, there is the government's got this. They always got their hand out for something. You want to do something, you got to get a license for this and a permit for that. And that. They tax us to death. They permit us to death. So we don't have the true freedom that we were to have.
What do you feel that you could accomplish that you're being prevented from?
Well, who knows?
You need to know that before you can go on your proselytizing manifestation of bullshit.
If we were
don't put me into your situation.
Use the word
I.
Paying the rent and and doing this and doing that and being under the.
I think it was productive. We appreciate the conversation. We have your card.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Good luck with your.
Free your mind.
My mind is free. Your mind is shackled. Your mind is shackled in blue and red.
Thank you.
Don't feel so threatened about a microphone.
It's not a microphone. It's a stick. Who's recording? Good for you.
So how was that prick? One guy was okay, pretty okay, but that tall pussy. Oh, he's gonna go down. He'll go down hard. He'll really go down hard. Okay. I'm praying for you guys. Pray for me. That's all we got left. See you on the street.